Hello. Silent, I think, was the character that was most impacted by the addition of Aeonglass into the game. And now that we just got a patch confirming that Aeonglass is going to stay in its current state, I wanted to do an over-explained run that really demonstrates how much you need to be respecting this enemy and how you can play around it in your deck building. Because I think a lot of people have been talking about how Silent Shiv decks and card spam in general and draw and discard and sly, and everything is just worse because of Aeonglass, which is true, but it's not an unbeatable enemy. So here is kind of my framework for thinking about the game and how I approach solving a new problem, which is this enemy that I think a lot of people are struggling with. So I hope you enjoy it and hope you learn something. I'll see you in the next one. Let's do Silence Over Explained. Okay, Humidifier basically never. We can sort of write that off unless like the other options were complete trash, but I want some immediate power and this is none. Paperweight's pretty much always good. Tress is good only in specific paths, as in like no shop and we need to take that path. But usually I want the early shop. The map looks a little weird. So there is one idea here, which is take early store into a lot of fires and then just get a ton of upgrades, and you still get 2 elites like this, which would kind of rule out Silken Tress. The Tress path would be something like this, to like avoid the advanced hallways, to have only 3 easy pools, and then go into like this. But it's not super easy, I think, to do that path. If the glam card bricks or we just don't see good stuff for this late, we can sort of just die. Fortunately, this is underdog, so I could probably be a lot more aggressive. I think overall underdogs kills you a lot less than overgrowth. Even this right side path doesn't look like complete nonsense. This provides a bit more safety before the elites with like the fires being front loaded. Your upgrades are probably going on less good stuff, because you have more time to see cards, and I can upgrade more cards here, and we're 1 less fire. This is definitely a safer path. We could click Paperweight and just get info on how the card is. If it's like a late game thing, I could take the safer path. If it's like a strong early card, then there's no reason why we can't just go left here and get all the upgrades. And maybe it's a good card to upgrade as well, but I think Silken Tress is probably never here. Okay. Finesse before this patch would have been like basically always positive. I think at Underdogs it is definitely positive. This is not going to harm me until exactly the Dorito in Act 2 and also against the Aeonglass. But overall, it's just a way better card than Restlessness, so I just click it. And I'm not going to skip that just because of those downsides. It's going to be strong enough for basically the entire section of the game that matters. And we will solve Aeonglass in a different way. I think basically with Aeonglass in the game now and the Dorito in the game, I am going to be playing with those in mind the entire run, since they are big obstacles to overcome. Okay, now the only idea is, do we take the 3 elite path with this, or do I still take my early shop? I still think I take my early shop, and with Finesse, I'm good in hallways. And when I am good in hallways, I do like to farm them to see more cards, because I would like to see cards before all these upgrades, and probably just go for 3 upgrades if we can. Finesse should save quite a bit of HP in these easy pools here, because like something like this, right? It just converts to 1 extra strike instead of having to play a defend here. Which gets us out of the fight faster, and that is most of the time going to just save a lot of HP. We can take 1 to not have this curse in. I think overall, I'm not going to care as much about the curse. Mostly because this finesse exists. I can like help have something to do with our energy or draw past it. And you can see, having that extra strike on turn 1 saves 2 there. Okay. In Overgrowth, this is almost always Dagger Throw, I think. In Underdogs, I think I can greed taking the Acro. So, like, Acro is not the best card on the screen for immediate reasons, right? Like, drawing now doesn't really convert to much. It is slightly better with Finesse because drawing into Finesse converts into block, and drawing into Neutralize is always good, and that's just in your starter deck. But because it's Underdogs, and because I have this early shop to help cover some early game risk, I'm going to click this. Otherwise, both of these are acceptable to click. They are, like, fine cards, but Acro is going to be the best card in the end game, and not even end game, but even mid game, right? Okay, not much to talk about here. Just going to block as much as I can, and we will reevaluate that if that changes. Here, we can think about playing Survivor to shuffle in cards. So I don't just have no block in here, but I think what I'm going to do is strike into finesse, because if I draw strike here, I can play it. Newt is also fine because it extends weakness, but most time doesn't matter too much. Yeah, and exactly. Unless we draw into acro and do whatever, but this is a good turn to draw all this. Next turn we could get destroyed if the acro doesn't find like weakness or block or something. Luckily top deck finesse into neutralize, and now we can probably meet block check here. We can. So I'm allowed to do this. I don't want to take any damage here. We don't need to rush. This turn I will take damage, but I will full block and only take 1. Underdog just doesn't kill you and rewards you for blocking. And when my draw converts into block, like on the finesse, I don't need to care as much about taking early damage. I can take kind of a later game card. This is probably just leading strike. Skewer, I don't have a lot of energy because I'm going to be spending energy on like acro to cycle my finesse and my neutralize, right? So I want kind of like a cheaper card. This is only really good if I have like a bunch of energy or I don't have any draw and need dense damage cards. In Overgrowth, I maybe would consider that, but I think Leading Strike is just a very good card in general. This is just a very high damage output card. Like 1 energy deal 11 is a lot on silent and works with a lot of synergies. Like I see a Shiv card here, not this one, but like ones that buff damage output, it's really good. Phantom Blades or something. That being said, we really can consider Infinite Blades here to help solve a lot of fights, and we can just sort of sit around blocking. One idea would be to just play acro to cycle into the finesse, right? Like previously mentioned, and just block every turn consistently, draw your neutralize. Basically, you can spend all your energy on doing block because you have these shivs chipping in every turn. And I think it's less important that I have AoE in Underdogs as it is just being able to block. There's another really good option here, which is the bomb, to basically solve the eels and to give us boss damage. So we can sort of like block with finesse and like weakness. So this sort of same idea of like acro cycling these 2 cards. But now I have a lot of damage for like 2 energy. But I plan on sitting around in fights for a long time anyway, so I don't care as much about this being delayed damage. It doesn't need to happen now. I can sit around and block. So we can take that as well. I don't think going for like full sly sort of packages really works that well against Aeonglass, but I think the bomb looks really solid here. Infinite Blades is also pretty good. I think I'm going to take the bomb. It seems stronger now. We already have a Shiv card to function. I can already figure out and work with a lot of the Shiv powers. Infinite Blades is not like the first Shiv card, which would open a lot of those cards to be good, but they're already kind of open. So yeah, I think the bomb is probably better here. Pinpoint is interesting, yeah. Pinpoint is quite interesting with finesse and the acro. Later in the game, it's not going to be nearly as good, and it's not AoE, so it's not like solving the eels. And the bomb plays well with Radiant Tincture as well. I think the bomb is just really good in Spire 2. In Spire 1, it was not nearly as good, but in this game, it's just a lot of output. So for example, right, we can play like Leading Strike ideas here instead of playing the bomb, because our next turn block doesn't look very good, right? You could slam the bomb, but it's probably better to just try and kill left here, I want to say. Because next turn I would probably not draw a full block. Usually you draw 2 blocks in this hand. The average case is like 2 defense, 2 strikes, and then one of these, right? I don't think Pinpoint's wrong. You're just evaluating something differently. I think the bomb is figuring out a couple fights that I care more about. Also is really good into the Decimillipede next act as well. So if we do Leading Strike, Strike, do 17, and this is dead to 1 strike next turn. That seems pretty good. Just block, doesn't matter if you play Survivor or Defend there, whatever. Just don't discard the Ascender's Bane. And yeah, this is exactly the kind of hand that we would have taken 2, basically. I will block the 1 here, and then next turn we hope to draw into block, but this is totally fine. Basically, like, we would have taken 1 here, but now I take 0 because I drew into defend. So yeah, pretty important to take your time, even in easy pools, to make sure you don't get completely owned. Prepared to do this cycling idea with like the finesse. We would want an upgrade on that, but again, we have this path with a lot of upgrades, so I'm allowed to take upgrade debt here. My upgrade debt is really like neutralize and then prepared in that case. We can also take precise cut, but I don't mind this idea of like cycling the bomb. We play like 0 energy draw cards to get into the bomb a lot and just loop that for damage against the boss. Could take also precise cut, but it's a little worse with acrobatics because we draw into Precise Cut and it doesn't deal as much. It's not like bad. It's still 0 energy damage, but yeah, I don't mind, I think, taking Prepared here. I think I'm allowed to be greedier because it's Underdogs. And Overgrowth, I'm already picking a lot more damage. Acro can miss the bomb here, which I don't really want to do. Let's go ahead and weaken this guy. And probably just full block. And put damage on this guy since the threshold works out nicely for us of having it be 2 strikes. Yeah, and we will take a little bit here. Definitely worth just killing. We can draw a bit to shuffle out these cards. It's not like they're like terrible or anything, but not amazing for sure. We don't necessarily need to play the bomb to keep this fight under control. Like, for example, here, right? We can keep this fight under control by doing this. Here, I don't think I'm going to play Acro. The only thing it converts into is block or draw and neutralize, and all those things seem good next turn. Yeah, we made a little bit of progress in this fight, not a lot, but a little bit. And now we can play the bomb and kind of just block, I think. Even though we will be frail, but... Okay, not a great turn. But again, the bomb will get us out of this here. Don't even need to play cards, but it's kind of fun too. Pounce bomb is pretty legit. Yeah, pretty legit here. Just a little bit more damage. You can see like in this sort of fight like that we want a little bit of damage to kind of keep fights under control. And with Vuln Pot, that actually is working nicely. This is recently buffed as well. Running us the elite, of course. Bomb on turn 1 with Pounce. Not that that really means anything, but we can do something like this. A bomb, of course, and we just block here and allow the bomb to kill. We're just guaranteed out of this fight, but it's basically just how much can we block. Maybe not much. Leading strike, 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 I don't believe is killing without Vuln Pot, but I'm not willing to Vuln Pot, I think, for just 8. We can just do this, and we end turn. Get out of here. It's a pretty painless elite here. Captain's Wheel is excellent with the bomb. Lets us sit around. Here's a pinpoint for free. With Pounce, it's kind of performing a similar role. I don't think we necessarily need just like damage like that. Bouncing Flask with Captain's Wheel is a way of converting our like excess block into damage. And is good boss damage, works with Pounce nicely, so we can have something like this. I didn't really pick Bouncing Flask very much, but I also think like against Aeonglass, you need to strip Artifact, and this is doing a really good job of that, and also is important in that boss for pushing damage, I think. So I think I will click it. We have this and Captain's Wheel to help support it, and the Pounce as well. Okay. With this Fire Path, I think I'm allowed to take the Spoils map here, and we get power next act. Early Act 2 could be kind of rough, but Captain's Wheel is doing a lot there. And I have 2 potion slots. Obviously, I want to use those. Okay. Neutralize upgrade is really important here, and I'm going to upgrade Prepared. And then we maybe rest depending on what happens here. I don't want to rest yet in case I got like a Regal Pillow or something from there. And I also might not need to, depending on how much this Captain's Wheel saves. I think 25 is perfectly serviceable for the Elite with Neutralize upgrade. We'll see how the hallway goes. If we take damage there, then we can think. But Prepared should help us draw into the Neutralize to keep permanent weakness, basically. Okay, if we don't draw into the bomb, which we did not here, or Pounce, we might need to think a bit. Let's play this and see where it goes. It's pretty good. Neutralize on the back guy since he hits for more on turn 2. And then we put all the damage here. I don't think we need to Vuln Pot with the poison here. Like, Strike will kill and also Pounce kills or whatever. Actually, I got those mixed up. That's my bad. But yeah, shouldn't matter. Usually we're going to kill this guy anyways, so. Here's Captain's Wheel. We can play Bomb. I think we shuffle all this out, though, because the Spoils map redraw is really bad. And probably we're just killing this guy with strikes and like playing physical damage here and not waiting. We want to open the kill next turn instead of having to wait 2 more turns. Fortunately, it doesn't happen, but we also don't take damage, so not a big deal at all. Slice, Ricochet, Deflect. Could see wanting to take Ricochet with like the Prepared and the Acro. I am a little bit worried about gunking up the deck too much to not reliably line up any combos. Like right now we're doing Pounce into kind of expensive skills. And the second we start trying to do also Sly stuff, we're going to make both parts worse. I don't think we necessarily need Ricochet damage. I kind of just want block. Deflect I don't think is as good as taking like a Untouchable here even. I think I'm going to skip here. I don't want to bloat the deck out and ruin any of the combos. Here would be, maybe this is Advanced Hallway. And we have Skulking Colony, but we have Neutralize and decent damage. And also Captain's Wheel. And also Terror Eel, but we also have Captain's Wheel. So first 2 turns could break, but usually there's no way with like Ring of the Snake, right? So I think we just upgrade maybe Bouncing Flask here. Underdogs in general is just a lot easier most of the time. Pounce upgrade is also very solid, probably better early. Bouncing Flask is really a boss damage upgrade, which like I will need HP in this boss. So we could rest now. I don't think this upgrade does anything against like the elites. This is like sort of Terror Eel as well, but we can commit Vuln Pot. I think I'm gonna rest here actually. Okay, turn 1 Bouncing Flask is excellent. We could Leading Strike to damage cap. I also don't mind playing Radiant Tincture here because we can just block, but I don't love that we drew all of our block cards. I kind of want to, I think, do this to get out of here a bit earlier. It's weird that poison doesn't count for like any. Keep this Spin in. Strike damage is not super relevant, but neither is the curse. Okay, we have Captain's Wheel here. Let's just play the bomb. Next turn, Neutralize Finesse. I definitely don't want to draw into that right now because we're covered with Captain's Wheel here. This guy's guaranteed dead as long as we can block here, which both these cards are good at doing, right? Also just kill, right? Okay. Bellows with Ring of the Snake is very good. So we have really good turn 1 coverage with Venerable T-Set and Bellows and this. And then we have turn 3 coverage, and this can retain the upgraded cards as well. Snakebite, I already have Bouncing Flask. Can be more easily played on Captain's Wheel and also the T-Set turn. So it's something. I think with Bouncing Flask, I am not needing this. And also Predator, not needed with like Pounce, right? Okay, we'll take our HP here. Colorless cards are really, really strong. I think I always basically want to click this because I can skip as well. Flash of Steel with Finesse. Again, notably less good against a lot of the like changes like the Aeonglass or whatever. This is good against the Dorito. And works with Vulnerable Potion. Automation here with Acro in the deck and Prepared is definitely something. And kind of like an expensive deck. Like picking more draw and playing this, and also easier to play because of Captain's Wheel coverages and Bellows coverages. Definitely could be a thing for sure. We don't have any real like big block cards added, which I don't love. But I think probably Flash to have a little bit more support to get us to the point where we get the spoils map cashed out makes more sense. The automation is basically for later. Flash is like for now. We'll just take this then. With 40 HP here, I think I'm just upgrading. This could be wasted because of the Bellows upgrading the card anyways, but I think I want to get out of this fight like a lot faster. So let's just upgrade Bouncing Flask. I can't actually block like a big hit. This on turn 1 is excellent. Didn't hit any defense, unfortunately, except for this one, but at least all our block is in for this turn. We can try to get to like Neutralize or something, because next turn I don't need to block. And this turn I do. Next turn I want to be doing a lot of damage. I think I aggro first here. Yeah, perfect. Just draw through all of the stuff. Because I want to do damage on this turn, and we were looking at a lot of block in the draw pile here. Unfortunately, not that much, of course, but at least Bouncing Flask is going in a bit in the bomb as well. Bouncing Flask this turn is excellent. Pounce as well. Neutralize here is a good draw. Should be fine. Can just face tank as long as we don't take a lot of damage here. Which maybe we do. The Stable Serum could help hold block cards if this is going to threaten us. Which we can think about for sure. We do need actual defend cards. I think not yet. But it's dying this turn. And that's not a lot of block, you know? So, I think the way this works is if I weaken now, it cleanses the weak, but I could be wrong on that. It doesn't. Oh, maybe it changed. It loses the weak. I'm getting some... We're getting some mixed signals. I'm gonna Stable Serum then, just to be safe here. And I don't care about that pot really at all, so feel free to use it over. Okay, here's a tracking card. I'm not really pushing damage with physical attacks, but we definitely can now with this. Accelerant's only working with Bouncing Flask, which is kind of bad. I think this is just easy tracking, right? And we will make this work. The upgrade's also very good. And we have a lot of early turn support, but no like real long scaling in fights with our relics, so having long scaling in the form of powers makes a lot of sense. Okay, there is no shop after, which is fine. We will just have a big Act 3 shop, but we can spend all our gold here, essentially. And not take a lot of risk inside of early Act 2 before this curse is out of our deck. Let's see what this is. Goopy Defends is enabling a lot of, like, looping these important cards. Relax is upgraded with Bellows and also, like, plays with Captain's Wheel and Venerable Tea-Set, which is nice. 2-cost deck, we can get a Dance Macabre from the event. Pale's Legion is not doing a whole lot with like doubling finesse or whatever. I think this is probably just goopy, and we would just make a smaller deck and try to like loop the big damage cards. It also increases the density of drawing neutralized, so we may not have to actually apply a lot of weakness. We can just sort of loop with like prepared Flash of Steel. Aeonglass is going to be a big consideration because the statuses mess up this kind of deck very badly, but with tracking and being able to play Bouncing Flask like multiple times, maybe it's okay. And we will take some time. I'm not sure if I want to take this elite risk because the Goopy is kind of saying wait till later as well. Yeah, basically everything is saying like wait till later. We have a lot of stuff going for us later in this run. I don't think I want to take immediate short-term risk. So let's take a relatively safe path here, even though I'm not going to be stacking up a lot of Goopy stacks by going left here because I'm not taking a lot of hallways. But yeah, we can take our fights later. I think the boss will probably just die here. Okay, interesting. The bomb is not doing excellent here. This is literally all defense, though. Should play Pounce, I think. And just not play bomb. We drew all of our defense, except for one. That's really funny. This fight is not great. I think we will Bouncing Flask and focus on playing the defend for Goopy stacks, because the path is relatively safe here. So I will make meta progression at the cost of taking damage. Without playing Bouncing Flask, I think these guys like basically never die, so we kind of need to. Tracking sucks here. We don't need to like double our damage or whatever. That guy's dead next turn. We have neutralized for this. Okay, last Goopy Defend is great. And it's the upgraded one as well. So we full block here. Again, this is why I didn't want to take a whole lot of short-term risk, because we can maybe try to get this defend. Nice. These fights can be kind of brutal with this deck. We have like an extra curse that we're going to get rid of, and we're going to have a lot of money. It's like no reason to risk it. Another Acro here to do this like looping deck idea. And the deck's going to be very small with 5 defense. Okay, this is basically going to be extremely strong and do everything that is not named Aeonglass. So we need to solve that fight in some sort of way. But I think I take the other Acro here. Untouchable is very considerable there. Kill your shop. But 2 strike removes in this deck is very good. We're probably not going to have enough shops to take advantage of the removes not increasing in gold from this. So like remove 1 and then just remove at the shop is basically the same thing with just some ability to be flexible in this store for short-term power, which is what I wanted. Probably about the same. We just have the option to not remove in case something's really broken, like we see a footwork or something. I think I will keep that option open. And if nothing is good, we just do the remove in the store and we are slightly more poor in the long run. But like this, for example, right? Very, very good. Definitely stronger than remove here, this fumes. Need to strip artifact off the enemy and need to push damage a lot in these bosses. This is also a very strong upgrade and can get deployed very easily with Goopy Defense, protecting us while we deploy it. Not really doing stuff with this looping deck, but I think we have to just not fully rely on that, really. Probably just fumes over remove. Potions, not really needed. We have 2 pots. Not that the Vuln pot is that good, but it stacks with tracking. Okay. Need a lot of energy here. This guy will not take neutralize, so tracking does work, but I think just playing fumes is going to be better. Unfortunately, we can't stack the defense in this fight very easily, and we're going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. But I think I have to play the Bouncing Flask. That's like fine for him to take. Just exhausting the defense. Yeah, we're gonna take damage, right? Again, and still have maybe a potential hallway incoming as well. Think this is fine, right? He's guaranteed dead now. We just focus on living and doing our defense. Okay, nice. Oh, I guess I could have played Acro for this defend. My bad. We'll see if we would have drawn it. We would have. I thought I was out. Okay. No need for any of these. Flechettes is going to be really bad once the defense are removed from the deck. Hand trick may be acceptable at this point. Maybe. But I think I want my pounce back to help cheat out Bouncing Flask, and it's giving me something to do with the loop. Okay, random power is probably good. Almost all of them are fine. We can look at the compendium here to see 0 cost cards as well. So you can see what you can get out of this. You cannot get neutralized, but everything else is fair game. Even Grand Finale would work. You cannot get suppress, obviously. Adrenaline Expose, Cut Gamble, all these would be really excellent. As far as powers go, yeah, Footwork, Infinite Blades. Even Outbreak here is fine. Speedster is really bad. The rest of these are just really good. It's probably just the power. This deck can Finale, but Aeonglass really doesn't like that. We probably can do it fast enough that it would die, but... Okay, that's not like one of the better ones, but it's acceptable. We can make tracking playable, but we're not really scaling with tracking a ton right now. It is good with Pounce. It needs to be played. Noxious Fumes is a really good upgrade. Probably tracking and fumes are the biggest upgrades in this deck. See what this event is. Okay. Maybe we get Compact, or we click Ironclad and also get like Burning Pact or something, and then we can deal with statuses. Or get Second Wind or something, and then that's very broken. Yeah, and I don't want to work with like orbs or anything, so I think we just pick Clad. Armaments. Kind of bellows. A little weird. Colossus. We don't have Vuln really, unless we get Vuln something else. Rage is like pretty interesting. Packs end with Shivs to activate it. And Goopy Defense to activate it. That's a loot payoff. That's really sick. Could Rage to generate block with this sort of looping idea. And like Flash and the Shivs. Seems really interesting. Defect cards is basically only Compact. Or Flat Cannon. Those are the only like real things. Ironclad has way easier ways. Like any targeted exhaust, any Second Wind. Yeah, Ritual is pretty interesting as well to like use with all our draw. It's pretty cool. I do like it. It helps us get set up. And it exhausts. That's nice. I think for block, we can mostly solve with Finesse. Finesse loop. But looping decks are kind of harder to do. Once again, kind of as described, they're a lot harder to do. Against Aeonglass. Lantern is pretty good, actually. With extra card draw on turn 1. Okay. I think we can do this. Dorito, we will definitely like double pot. But we have Pax End and Bomb. So with HP, we probably are fine against the Decimillipede. And B guys should be very easy. I'll rest here just so in case, you know. But I want to farm for sure. Okay, lots of extra energy here. Bomb is down. Let's play Flash first. Doesn't matter much on where. And just kind of block, I think. UV defense are so crazy to just try and play powers. Fumes is not really needed, so we could try to get into Forgotten Ritual here. Or just draw another block card here, or weakness or whatever. Yeah, I can just block here. The Fumes is pretty unnecessary. It like works with Outbreak, but it's very slow. By the time we are doing that, then the bomb's already gone off and we won. We just need to do a little bit of damage to this guy. Okay. Here's Goopy into Forgotten Ritual. And maybe Pax End. Doesn't really matter. Next turn we win, so let's just play this. Yeah, very cool fight. And we get the Goopy defend, so I think we got all our side quests done here. Boom. And this is where, if you did not pick the bomb earlier, you're going to struggle a lot, right? But the bomb is answering a lot of fights that Silent doesn't like, that actually you have a hard time sitting around in. The Knights fight, this fight, it's even decent in bosses as well. Untouchable's interesting. I don't think we need it. We do have like a need to solve block kind of in longer fights, but I don't think this is really good against Aeonglass either. Vuln Pot, definitely not better than Fire Pot here. And 44 HP is probably enough for the Dorito. I think we can just upgrade Noxious Fumes here. Start scaling boss damage. Okay. We have no whales, but we do have big defense. Acro before I play Neutralize here, just so I don't add crap to the deck. Before I draw. I still want to draw into real cards here. I don't think there's much of a reason to play this strike. I think we just sort of like chill and draw block. This guy's going to die to Fumes. Don't love this hand. On average, we draw at least one defend next turn, which is not actually good. I don't want to discard the statuses, though. Accent should be probably played here. I think it's worth enough damage to do it. Yeah, next turn doesn't look very good here. I want to draw these defenses again later, but like skipping my whole turn here, not great. We just have like no chance to draw. If I play Tracking Flash of Steel next turn, which is not great. Unfortunately, it didn't come before this, but like if I play like 20 damage here with Fire Pot, I do like 16 plus 18. It's 34. 64. 84 damage. Not quite enough. Because that's 94. Okay, we might take a hit next turn then. A big one as well, so I just pass here. We try to draw into block. Bomb is probably not being played here. I'm just trying to find defense. Okay, very nice. We got weakness as well, which covers this turn and next turn. And tracking here. Nice, Drew Dazed here. That's perfect. Can try to save Fire Pot here. This is just like dead. Tracking is a very silly card. Paper Crane is absurdly good. Absurdly good. And this is very easy skip. All this is really bad in Aeonglass, and that's kind of the only fight I'm really thinking about right now. Planisphere here is excellent. We easily block this guy with our very good Goopy defense here. Unfortunately, I drew 2 defense here, which I don't really want to play, but let's see. With Bouncing Flask, that goes in. We can sort of just draw a bit here. I played enough defense to activate Pax End here, so we can play everything in this hand. Could have saved the pounce to instead block a little bit more next turn, but I think we'll be fine with the Captain's Wheel. Kind of want to draw back into those goopy defense here. That's like the main thing I'm trying to do right now. I actually don't want to hit this. We'll probably die next turn, but we can try to block it. Perfect. And no reason to stay around anymore. Okay, one more bouncing flask for the road. I would like more weakness. We have not really seen that at all. Bouncing flask seems really bad here. I would click like a reflex or something to help have a little bit more card draw. But I don't think prepared is quite it. Needs the upgrade, which I think I'm allowed to do right now. This guy does add a bunch of statuses to my deck, so maybe I should just like res. I don't have like great weak chain if I have a bunch of statuses added in, so I probably would need to respect this guy a bit. Sucker Punch would definitely be clicked, yes. Just any weakness here. Okay, not a great turn. This is probably not going to work very well later, so we could just exhaust it. Definitely playing this, definitely playing this. Question is, do I just get rid of it? I guess it can help me play the statuses later, but hopefully we don't have to worry about that. We'll keep it for now. Hopefully we're not going long in this fight. This activates Pax End. But yeah, a looping deck like this, maybe I needed to apply Poison Pot. I think I will now, even late. Because this kind of fight, we do need to get out of here fast because we run out of blocks. We have good front load block, and the idea was to solve the fight with a lot of damage. Pounce is not being played over, playing powers here. To get out, but this guy messes with our damage, and that's kind of a bigger problem. We don't have good weak chain for Paper Crane. It's also a thing we are kind of relying on to block. For example, like, now that we've used all these, fight needs to end. Could have played that actually, but it's fine. We should be out of here. It's taking a little bit of damage, but it's okay. We used all our defense, I think. Malaise is excellent. Weakness. Here's some artifact strip, but we have okay artifact strip with the bouncing flask. Shadow Step is like never. We're not really doing physical damage all that much. We haven't really found stuff to scale the tracking very well. I think Malaise is like insanely good here with Paper Crane. And we have a lot of energy with the Lantern, also with T-Set, also with the Forgotten Ritual. Apparitions, more cards at exhaust and front load block. That's just extremely good. Could Ethereal copy neutralize and flash, and that's just infinite. If you copy flash after exhausting, you just win. Or Paxen. That's very funny. Unfortunately, apps are just like really, really broken. I mean, it lets us save our goopy defense as well for later. It's just insane. We do have Aeonglass and Test Subject, which is probably the worst two bosses to have because scaling damage against Test Subject is kind of hard for us. Fortunately, we do get down into like a Paxen loop, and that's the main idea. But yeah, I think it's just easy apps here. And sometimes they're upgraded, which is really good. We can keep them around. I have a lot of gold here, so double shopping even makes sense if there is a path for it. There is. It involves going here and then picking and then getting here, which honestly this path looks pretty good anyways. We can get some extra upgrades like here if we want an extra fire or take an event. I think usually in Act 3 events I don't want for the most part. Okay, maybe just do some side questing. That's full block, play tracking, hit a guy. Not much to worry about here. Still have all our apps and Captain's Wheel incoming. Fortunately, this does not take 0, so I'm still taking HP loss here. I will fire pot you to not lose 4 max, I think. So I need to actually draw block cards against these guys. Just doing side quests here. All the side quests are in there, so let's not ruin that. Here's a leg sweep for more weakness. Here's also a reflex that works really nicely, but Aeonglass says no.
This reflex is really strong. We do have malaise now for more weakness, so the leg sweep is not as needed,
But it is a very good block card to play and also gets cheated out with pounce. This is a pretty hard decision, actually. I think the reflex is definitely not as good into Aeonglass, but is overall probably way better because it's just doing infinite stuff. It's more fun for sure. Okay. Ringing Triangle can hold apps that we draw on turn 1 because they're upgraded with Bellows. So we can hold all our upgraded cards. It seems really strong. And Red Mask, Paper Crane, Artifact Strip for Aeonglass. Pretty good. I think probably both. Strike Remove, as we talked about last time, is very strong here because we're just doing looping stuff. So I think I will do this and then save my money for the next store. I think second copy of Fumes is probably not good enough. We could also consider Draw Pot, but I think with the second store incoming, I want some money. Draw Pot would be held for the bosses, by the way. Remember that we are retaining this hand here. So all these cards are getting held. We can play like the worst defend for hand space, I guess, and then hold all this. Be nice if I could hold all of these this turn. And apps stack across turns, and I have 2 turns of intangible here. I'm gonna play this. We can draw back into the other defense again, but I'll play the bomb, but I do want some weakness on this guy. We have neutralized next turn. Need to draw back into the defense next turn, and we take quite a bit here. I should draw before I play anything. I don't care about neutralized redraw here. That's full block. Should basically die, and we have an app as well. Let's play defend, and this to try and get goopy. We do get it. None of these do anything, I don't think. Okay, not ever giving Gambler's Brew here. That's like the most important potion like an entire game. So we get an uncommon skill here. Snakebite upgraded
to help push damage. It is very easily played with goopy defense. Dodge and roll, we have no actual decks. It's like significantly worse than just playing defense, and hopefully the fight ends fast enough. I think we just take Snakebite to end fights faster here. We could also just like loop the Bouncing Flask, but I don't necessarily mind just having like a bunch of poison cards here to like overscale damage against the glass. Now pound Snakebite here. Keep going. Again, we are retaining here. Very good to have this to just basically a couple turns of Wall-Eyed Plans is really, really strong. We can discard this app since we can block for an amount this turn. Could have also played app into Malaise, but like the side quest. Turn up guaranteed, so I don't care about playing this one. Also, we are just out of here, but let's try to side quest if we have any defense left. We have 1. We do get it. That's it, I believe. Yep. Table Serum, pretty nice. Here's a Sucker Punch, don't need anymore because we have Malaise. Infinite Blades, at this point, we're not scaling like that anymore. Do we have enough upgrades to warrant going right here? I think Malaise upgrade is very good. Pax N upgrade is also good because that's double with tracking, so this is really like a 12 damage upgrade. Acro upgrades are solid. Reflex upgrades are very good. And we just don't want the events, I think. Okay. Well, we got the free packs and upgrades, so I can go like draw upgrades now. Or this upgrade. Just make sure we have weak on the enemy. You can also play that for 0 energy now. Okay. This fight can be annoying. I think we are very well equipped for it though. Especially with something like App here. This turn we can still retain, next turn we will not be. Need to just make this... Oh. I was gonna like show... Okay, whatever. You guys get what I was trying to do. It's fine. It shouldn't matter. Kind of funny. I guess I'd change that. It's playable now, but it doesn't do anything, right? Need to play on my defense, even though it's not correct, but... Should play the bomb here. I don't want to lose my goopy defense. But here we are. App almost guaranteed here. Probably should have just played Pounce here, but that's alright. Maybe not even play Strike. Oh, I thought I played this for some reason. It's okay. They will all die basically. Should have been switching damage because I already had the bomb going off, but that's okay. Playing a little sloppy now. Number defends. Scare, extra weakness. It's a loopable card, but I think we're just looping the neutralize now. Probably that means I need to rest for HP and need to not take damage here, but that should not be that hard. Can hold that technically for like tracking damage when we draw neutralize, but it doesn't really matter. So I can put Newt on the next guy. Not that it's going to matter very much probably, but... Fortunately taking... Actually, I lied. I'm taking 0. Or a Kyoko, thank you. Notable combo with apparitions. We can play Outbreak, but... Yes, we can. Sure. We'll give it its time in the sun. Act 3 elites in the bosses ask very different questions, so not necessarily... Could have a hard time, I think, in the bosses. Don't want this, I don't think. Aeonglass is still really, really scary, and Test Subject's not a joke either. Footwork is very good. Momentum, Sparkling Rouge. It's all really good.
Footwork is like working with finesse, basically, alone. But you kind of need to end fights like immediately, so maybe it's not actually that good. We could do like the dagger.
It's double upgrade basically, like on Flash of Steel or on Pax End. I think I would like one dex from here though, more than anything. So maybe even just a remove. I think this is just happening. Probably on Flash. Just a little bit of strength goes a long way here as well. Could see just removing strike too, and then buying something else instead of the one dex. Could also just go footwork. We just don't really have a lot of things that convert dex into output. Like, if the fight doesn't end soon, we will die. We have apps to cover, and we have goopy defense, but just don't really benefit that much from dex. I think we just make our deck better to do the looping thing. And the Aeonglass, we blow all of our resources to try and explode. I'll buy this just in case, but I don't think it's actually that needed. Watch this. Pounce, Snakebite. Still no well-laid plans makes me pretty scared. Which is like, I don't know, it's just good, right? I like having runs where I don't know that I'm going to instantly win when I walk into the bosses, and that's what this run is. I don't feel safe. It's way more fun to play when you don't feel safe. Because this run is still very scary. Even though we have a lot of stuff going for us, it's not free by any means. As a finisher, we're really not playing that many attacks, and if we are playing that many attacks, it means we already exhausted down, and it's kind of winning already. If it blades against this guy, it's probably not it, right? And the loop deck against this guy should work. We'll see. Definitely resting here. Okay, this is the scary fight by a lot. App on turn 1 is good. We just deploy powers, don't play leading strike, I think. We can even think about stable serum like next turn. Could also play reflex just to draw now, because we're going to retain all the cards. The thing is, if it draws into apps, it's not good. So let's not. The footwork upgrade really doesn't matter that much, I don't think. No bouncing flask yet. We can try to draw into that. Yeah, if we can't get weakness, our damage is kind of neutered, and we have no poison early, so this is pretty horrifying. I could definitely see just, like, Gambler's Brew here. Pounce Reflex is still a lot of energy. 2 energy to do that. I think we just Gambler's Brew. We're not making any progress. I need to get my powers down. I will exhaust a card, probably. Neutralize is just free artifact strip, because when you Gamblers, you're going to draw everything. Okay. That's very good. That was kind of what we're looking for. We have Ab next turn and a lot of weakness. Probably don't need to retain. Just not worth playing anything. Unless I just want to eat the Wither now while I'm intangible. Probably intangible next turn as well. Abs do affect Wither, they should. Could just malaise here. I also don't hate not playing malaise here and just playing tracking Snakebite. And next turn we have app. Need to just push damage like as much as we can. Have to apply poison to this guy. Or we're gonna die. Don't need these goopy defends right now. It's probably still worth playing this. Probably not worth retaining this 1 defend, but it is pretty scary. I'm kind of down. This fight is like horrifying. Okay, here's a Pax End on the thing. The Snakebite. Need to push. Okay, here's Flash of Steel Momentum. But again, this deck like really struggles here because of the looping punish. Can just malaise big time here. Crane should do a lot. We're gonna take a damage from a Wither here. Just 1 though. Bouncing Flask is a lot of damage, and we can discard Wither and just take a little bit to our face. Can also Acro into Groupie Defend and discard the Wither and shuffle it out. I don't want to shuffle out Bouncing Flask. I think I like the Goopy next turn. We just keep going with poison. Ow.
Okay, just kind of can we live like a handful of more turns? Unfortunately, we drew all of our blocks on the same turn here. Definitely just gonna play this Bouncing Flask. Do I block 2? Probably.
Because we drew all of our Goopy defense there, so it's going to make it hard, but I think it's going to die in time. That should. Wither, unfortunately, goes before poison damage, so we could just get destroyed by Withers this turn. We do not. Okay, very lucky. Very fortunate. And also kill like that. Okay, yeah, that fight's not a joke. And you can see how much you have to respect it in your deck building for literally the entire run. Because this, on an old patch, never in my deck. This wasn't even good that run, but I need extra damage output. I need, like, this, even. So if you're really struggling with this guy, it's just something you have to be thinking about literally the entire run. It's very similar to, like, the Heart in Spire 1. Yeah, Door Syndrome, basically. Like, I like that in Spire, though. I think it's nice to always be having this, like, looming enemy that can, like, murder you at any turn, where, like, I use 2 pots here and, like, still get kind of owned. This fight's not a joke, but can often, more so than the other fight, be way easier for us. I should malaise here, I think. App's upgraded. I'm going to save that for later. Okay. Don't need to push damage as much here. We can sort of just double app. We block with Orichalcum, and then we have next turn covered as well, and then we have like 2 turns to kill, basically. Snakebite's better to play here. Actually, I have app most of the time, or a lot of Goopy defense. And Crane is really stupid. We always get Forgotten Ritual here. We do shuffle out a lot of our defense here, but just getting powers down is like most important thing. We will let it die to poison here so that I have another turn to like draw back into the stuff and like retain and play my powers and whatnot. This is a lot of Goopy defense in here, so let's just play the bomb. Don't play finesse. Crane is really stupid. What is new? I don't want any wounds here because once I exhaust down, if I have no statuses, I just win. You'll see basically like with tracking here that I push damage a lot and this momentum scaling. And this is why Goopy defense are so strong, where like you get to a point basically where they full block like every turn. And so you can just focus on entirely doing damage. Okay, next time we have 1 Goopy defend and a survivor. Should be fine. No weakness though, but we do have an acro. If I play reflex now and draw like those 2 things, I'm kind of unhappy. Weakness would be the most important thing to have here. But it's not like we're dying or something. And this phase doesn't add statuses. We're getting hit, which is the big downside. Next turn, only 1 block card. And no relay of activating reflex except for pounce into reflex, but we do have newt most of the time. Why did I discard Snakebite? Okay, don't check that. Yeah, and you can see Paper Crane. This, very insane. Hopefully we're okay here. Usually I think Pounce and a Snakebite is fine here. Could see needing to do Reflex. Or just hold it. A lot of draw, but we kind of need to find the Goopy Defend. And the Newt. If I draw my defense now, it's pretty bad. Can we just play nothing here? We just chip at it a little bit. No reason to rush that, really. Okay. Neutralize. Are we dead here? We are, I believe. Yeah, because we bricked all our draw. Okay, really close. I think with slightly better micro, maybe in last fight I can like save like 8 health or something and be fine here. Obviously don't play perfectly. This is probably the hardest combination of bosses to see here, and we have like no well-laid plans. With well-laid plans, we win. If I don't discard Snakebite on that one turn, that might actually be enough to win as well. I kind of just like playing quickly, but like one extra draw on that draw cycle is probably enough to win. Like you don't break your one block card and then you're fine. Yeah, the Night fight as well, because I misplayed the Pax End, trying to demonstrate that it wouldn't play, and it did, which was a change I forgot about. And probably if I don't do that or micro better in that fight, we don't take the damage and then we're fine here, right? But that probably punishes me. Also, like, misplacing damage in the Night fight because of the bomb going off that I just, like, wasn't paying attention. That punished me. But you can see how much closer the game is just because the existence of this boss. And it makes it so much more interesting to me. Maybe we can take, like, one dodge and roll. That might be enough. Maybe the leg sweep is better than the reflex, but the reflex is more fun. So, yeah, you can probably pick leg sweep here and also be more fine just because you can have perma weak in this fight. And with Crane, that's very important. Punch Dagger didn't do a ton of damage. We didn't actually end up exhausting down, like, quickly enough. Maybe, like, 2 more removes and we're there. Or, like, another acro upgrade and we're there. But I didn't get the acro upgrade because I misplayed. Like, having +1 draw on this deck is a really big deal once you exhaust. If you count the real cards, like, this is -6 cards right here. -7, -8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 cards. Kind of 16. So, like, this deck is, like, 15 cards big. And this is kind of a fake card. So, also a fake card. Both kind of fake cards, right? Also kind of a fake card. Lots of fake cards. The deck is basically, like, 12 cards. Like, real cards. Getting 1 remove there is, like, a 10% remove, right? That's insane. 1 draw is 10% more draw of your entire deck. When the deck is this small, the incremental upgrades like that actually matter a lot, which is probably why I got punished. Fake card as in, like, it replaces itself as a cantrip. It doesn't cost energy to play and it draws. So you shouldn't really count it. Like, it's not truly free against Aeonglass, but essentially free. Lots of important things to think about in this run. Very cool. Even down to, like, not spending your double gold on the removes in Act 2 on the event. You can hold gold open for something broken, which was the fumes, right? Which was really good. You can see the mistakes matter now. And that I really enjoy.
I love that this game, like, actually forces me to think a lot more now, and that I get punished for misplays.
Very easy to point to a couple of mistakes and say that this run should have been a win if you play better. There's still not been runs in this game yet that I haven't been able to point to clear mistakes, which is both good and bad. Maybe it's a sign that I've gotten better at Spire and figuring out what went wrong, but it's very easy for me to figure out that a run should be able to win. And so theoretical win rate of this game should be very high if I'm never confused about why I lost. The second that I get confused about how I could have won, like I fight Aeonglass and I get destroyed, and I'm like, I don't think I saw anything to solve this, that's when I will start thinking that the theoretical win rate of the game maybe isn't as high. But currently, I've not been confused. But yeah, cool run. You can see how close it is, though, right? It's tight. You need to make, like, a lot of good decisions, and I like that.
The game is just so much more interesting when the boss actually kills you for being stupid.
And before, you weren't getting punished for this kind of misplay. Like, you could do that mistake and have to waste an upgrade and it wouldn't matter at all, and now it does.
This has been the best patch of the entire game so far for me, in terms of having to think and, like, feeling like there's a problem to solve. Like, you can see how much I have to think about it the entire run. Literally the entire run I'm thinking about it. It's kind of insane. I think the Wither pressure is so cool. I think this run is, I mean, clearly it's like 1 card or 1 micro misplay from winning, right? Like 1 turn. So it's very easy to see that you can win. It's not really important to demonstrate that I actually did. I don't care. I don't mind if people see that I lose. Like, slight misplays happen and you'll get punished for them. But I think the important thing is seeing the thought process.
Anyways, yeah. Hope it was still enjoyable even though I lost. I don't really mind losing.